DepEd Vision. We dream of Filipinos who passionately love their country and whose values and competencies enable them to realize their full potential and contribute meaningfully to building the nation. As a learner-centered public institution, the Department of Education continuously improves itself to better serve its stakeholders. DepEd mission: to protect and promote the right of every Filipino to quality, equitable, culture-based, and complete basic education where students learn in a child-friendly, gender-sensitive, safe, and motivating environment. Teachers facilitate learning and constantly nurture every learner. Administrators and staff, as stewards of the institution, ensure an enabling and supportive environment for effective learning to happen. Family, community, and other stakeholders are actively engaged and share responsibility for developing lifelong learners. DepEd core values: maka-Diyos, makatao, makakalikasan, at makabansa.
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive, and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our modules, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. It's
Good
another
morning.
Good morning po. Happy Business Friday, everyone. Another week of fun and learning. Fundamentals of Accountancy Business Management 1. I am your tutor on board, Shermaine S. Tumangan from May Kawayan National High School, SDO May Kawayan. Ma'am, ikaw naman,
Yes.
pakilala.
Yes. And I am your tutor, Carol. I am from Las Piñas City National Senior High School, CAA Campus, SDO Las Piñas City. So good morning, everyone. We're already on our fourth week, right?
Yes,
Fourth
yes
week
po.
na. Okay,
At marami
konti na
tayong
lang.
kasama ngayon, ma'am, na talaga naman pong laging sumusubaybay po sa ating ETUlay every Friday for Fundamentals of Accountancy, Business and Management 1. Yung mga gusto pong mag-accountant, yung mga
Wow.
ABM tutor, ABM student po natin, ayan, marami po tayong makakasama ngayon. Ma'am, gusto ko lang i-take yung opportunity na to na pasalamatan po yung itong pagkakataon na to sa yung aking mga school heads po dito sa May Kawayan National High School. As we all know, lahat po tayo nagre-report na ngayon. So, I would like to take this opportunity to thank them and for their support. Ma'am Lorena Sales, our principal. Sir Giuseppe San Antonio Layman, our senior high school assistant principal. Sophia Tumambing, our senior high school focal person. Tapos po sila Ma'am Shama Gabayno, Ma'am Floria Sunan, Julie Limbang. Tapos po si Alcoy Tatao po from Cacahuate National High School. Ayan, so ang dami po nila ngayon talagang nakikisama at kasama ko po ngayon dito sa room na to. Nasa room po ako. Ayan,
Okay,
pupasok na.
Ay, yes,
So,
Tutor Carmi, parang di ako nakapag-ready ng ganyan na. So, hintayin natin yan next week.
yes, ma'am. Oo, ma'am. Oo,
Okay,
dapat.
Las Piñas naman next week. Okay, so for
Yes.
now, okay, sige. Si Tutor
Pasalamatan din
Carmi
natin,
muna.
ma'am, ang ating mga tutors, ay ang ating mga tuti for today, sila Mariali Joy Francisco, ay andito sa ating program head, Ma'am Nel Rose, Anya, kamusta ma'am?
Yes.
Vince Panganiban, ang ever supportive student and truly of ours. Julie
Yes,
Rose
no?
Rabado. Yan.
Very loyal si Vince, no? Parang
Yes
each week
po.
nakikita ko siya na talagang nanonood sa atin.
Yes. Pati po sila Janine Capada, Mia Dayan Arquiliano, Rizalyn Limbaga. Ang dami po talaga. Windelin Etucas from Six Courtesy.
Okay.
Ayan. Thank you po, ma'am.
Student ko naman siya, si Wendelin Etucas. Hi, Wendelin.
So, kamusta po kayo ay now? Sige po, ma'am. So, bago po tayo, magsimula na po tayo ng ating pag-aaral, ating topic for today. Ayan, let me share with you my screen. Ayan, ma'am. Ayan. What is our objective for week 4?
Okay, so before we begin, our objective for this session, you will be able to discuss the 5 major accounts. And of course, you will be able to prepare a chart of accounts. Pero syempre, tuturo namin yan sa inyo kung paano yan gagawin.
Yes.
Okay? Okay, so ito, review muna tayo.
Ating
Okay,
past
so
lesson.
if you can still remember our past lesson, no, we have here a question. What is the basic accounting equation? Basic accounting equation.
Ayan.
Okay, anybody?
You can use our chat box for our answer. Yan, interactive po tayo, makisama po tayo. Baka po naaalala po ninyo yung ating lesson last week, which is the accounting equation. Ayan, mukhang
parang
ayan, si Vince, ma'am,
kaka-lesson ko lang nito.
Ayan, sumagot na si Vince.
Vince is A is equal to L plus E. Okay?
Sige,
Mariale Joy also answered assets is equal to liabilities plus equity.
Yeah, very
anybody
good.
else?
Sino po? Ayan, sino pang gustong mag-answer? Last?
Okay, siguro let us reveal na answer, ma'am.
Okay, let's reveal the answer. If your answer is asset is equals to liability plus equity, your answer is correct. Very good.
Okay,
let's have here another one. What are the elements of the expanded accounting equation? Ayan, si Ma'am Carol na nag-discuss nito. What are the elements?
Okay, so pinakita lang natin, no, yung expanded accounting equation ay we just show them the 4 accounts that affect the equity.
Yes. Okay, ano yung 4 accounts na yon?
Yes.
Yan, sige po. Yan. Just answer po. Ayan, meron na po ba tayong mga answers po? Expanded po yung equity account po yung naka-expand actually dito. What are the accounts under? Yan, sabi ni Vince, withdrawal, capital expenses, and revenue. Ayan.
So these are the 4 accounts that affect equity, no? Pero,
yes.
Okay.
Okay, ang equation. How are you going to come up with the equation with the expanded accounting equation? Yan.
Capital drawings.
Okay. Sige. I-reveal po natin, ma'am, ang answer.
Okay, sige po.
Ano naman mga tamang sagot? Siguro lang medyo lang sila. Pero the expanded accounting equation, ma'am, is?
Ayan. So these are the elements, no? Elements of the expanded accounting equation. So we have six accounts: assets, liabilities, capital, revenue, drawings, and expenses.
Ayan. So yan po yun. So very good. So for those who answer it correctly, congratulations po. Ayan. So aninang natin, i-practice lang din po natin yung ating knowledge about accounting equation. So how are you going to fill in po natin to complete the table using the accounting equation? Asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity. Sige po.
Yes. Basic lang to. Basic lang, tatlo lang yan eh. So very easy.
Basic. Yes. Okay, sige po. Number 1, the liability is 457,000 and the owner's equity is 270,000. How much is the asset? Yan, sige po.
Okay.
Simple arithmetic, basic mathematics. Ayan.
Mariale Joy.
Answer it, 727,000, ma'am. Tama ba siya?
Sige po,
Tingnan
let
natin.
us Vince also, 727,000 pesos. Samantha, 727,000. Okay? So
Yes,
yan,
very
tama,
good.
correct.
Galing,
Very good.
napakahusay. Okay, let's have number 2. Asset is equals to 1,006,000 and liabilities is 500,000. How much is the owner's equity or the
Equity.
residual value of the ano?
Okay, 500. Mariali answered 506,000.
Yes.
Same with Vince and Samantha. 506,000 pesos.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Sige,
let us
reveal na natin
reveal.
answer. 506,000.
Correct.
Very good. Ang
Okay,
gagaling.
506.
Yan.
Okay,
Sige
for
po,
number
sundan lang
3.
natin ng ano ma'am, susundan lang nila yung mga hindi pa po sundan nyo lang po yung equation natin na asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity. And then look
Yes.
for the unknown. Yan. Sige po. Asset is equals to number 3 is asset is equals to 309,000 and then the liabilities is unknown. Owner's equity is 120,000. So, magkano
Okay,
kaya
so
po ang
Vince, yeah.
liabilities natin?
Si Vince may sagot na 189,000. Same with Mariali Joy, 189,000.
Okay, let's
Okay?
see if the answer is correct. Yes, 189,000.
189,000. Okay,
Very
very
good.
easy na lang to, no? Yeah.
Okay,
Very good
ito.
sila.
Number 4. So the unknown is the asset and the given is liabilities and owner's equity. Liabilities natin 756,000 and the owner's equity is 451,000. How much is the asset of the company or the business?
Okay, Mariali Joy answered 1,207,000.
Okay, sige, tignan natin. Kung tama si Miss Mariali.
Vince answered the same, 1,207,000.
Very good. So it's 1,207,000. Mukhang mga mahuhusay na sila talaga accounting
Yes,
equation.
no?
So let's start our 5 major accounts. Okay.
Okay, so this will be our topic for today, the 5 major accounts. So these are the assets, liabilities, equity, and revenues and expenses. So these are the 5 major accounts. But let us first study the first 3, assets, liabilities, and equity. These are the balance sheet accounts. Okay, so they are also called real or permanent accounts because they are carried forward to the next accounting period. Assets, liabilities, and equity. Okay, balance sheet accounts yan. Gagamitin natin yan sa pag-prepare ng statement of financial position. Okay? And of course, the next 2 are the revenue and expenses. So these are income statement accounts. So these 2 accounts, including drawing accounts, are called nominal or temporary accounts. Okay, because they are not carried forward to the next accounting period, but are close to the capital accounts at the end of the accounting period. So ito yung mga revenue and expense. Kino-close natin yan, ano? At the end of the accounting period. Para pagdating ng susunod na accounting period, kay meron tayong fresh new start. Okay? Para ma-measure natin maigi talaga yung performance ng ating business. So, income statement accounts ang revenue and expenses. Okay, ito. I have here some helpful tips. Okay, ito ginagawa ko to sa mga students ko, no? Yung 5 major accounts, kukuhain nyo lang yung first letter. So, para nakabuo tayo ng ALEREX. Basahin nyo pababa, ALEREX. Okay, so when you say ALEREX, I am referring to the 5 major accounts. A for assets, L for liabilities, E for equity, R for revenue, and of course, X is for expenses. Okay, so yan. Para madaling matandaan, ALEREX lang. Okay, so pag-aralan natin siya isa-isa. Let's study one by one. Asset. So ano bang nakikita natin sa pictures, no? Ayan ang ating pwedeng sabing assets. So siyempre yung mga manufactured products natin, yung mga delivery equipment natin. We have the buildings, we have cash, Okay, and of course, a list. Okay, pwedeng list yan of our receivables. Okay, so assets. Okay, what do we mean by assets? So assets are things of value that the company own and control. Pag-aari yan ng business. At syempre, ang ibig sabihin ng control is pwede niyang gawin kung anong gusto niyang gawin dyan sa mga things of value na yan. These are also the resources of the company that bring in revenues or income for the business. So katulong nila to. Katulong ng business itong mga asset na to para mag-generate sila ng revenue or income for the business. Examples nito ay cash, accounts receivable, inventory, supplies, land, equipment, okay, prepayments, okay, and many more. Okay, so these are the assets. Okay, next. So assets are being classified into two, current assets and non-current assets. So ginagamit natin ang classification na to sa preparation ng statement of financial position. Paghihiwalayin natin ang current and non-current assets. Okay, so current assets are items that are consumed, sold, and converted into cash within 12 months or 1 year. Examples are cash, accounts receivable, notes receivable, inventory, supplies, and prepayment. So ito yung mga assets na nauubos, okay? Nauubos, na ibebenta natin or nako-convert natin into cash within 12 months or 12 months or less or 1 year or less. So example nga niyan ay yung land, building, office, I'm sorry, cash, okay, accounts receivable, notes receivable, inventory, supplies, and prepayments. And of course, we have non-current assets. So, non-current, ito naman ay tangible or intangible assets with a lifespan of more than 1 year. Okay, so 1 year and more naman ito. And typically not very liquid. When you say liquid, okay, liquid is yung conversion into cash. Okay? Conversion into cash. Example ng non-current assets ay land, okay, building, office equipment, furniture and fixtures, and of course, copyrights. Copyrights are intangible, okay, intangible assets. Okay, so let us check your understanding. So classify. Let us classify these 6 accounts into current or and non-current assets. Okay, number 1, we have cash. Anong classification kaya ng cash? Is it current or non-current assets? Okay, anybody?
You can use the chat box po for your answer.
Yes. So,
Yan.
Dan, marami na, no?
May mga
Hello.
grade 12 tayo dyan, sigurado alam na alam nila yan. Ayan, si Jeline
Okay,
Robles,
Mariali
Mariali
Joy,
Francisco.
Vin, Samantha, Julie Rose, they all answered current asset. Current assets. Okay,
Ayan, very
correct.
good.
Answer
Yes, correct.
is correct. How about goodwill? So, goodwill is something intangible to, no? We cannot
It's the
see it and we cannot
relationship.
touch it.
Yes, it's your relationship with your suppliers, with your customers.
Yes,
That is goodwill.
goodwill.
Yes.
Okay, so Vince and Mariali answered non-current assets. Okay,
Okay. Sige, try natin. Non-current asset. Very good. Now, number
non-current
3.
asset. Number 3, accounts receivable.
Yes, accounts receivable. Is it current or non-current asset? Yeah. Importante, ma'am, nilang maintindihan to kasi kailangan marunong sila classify ng mga accounts sa business. Okay, number 3.
Okay, so Mariali, Aisel, Rubelin, Samantha, ay, nalito lang ako. Samantha, okay, Vince, Jeline, okay, Aisel,
So
Mariali,
let's,
okay, they answered current assets.
yan, very good. So it's current asset. Now, let's have
Current
number 4.
asset. Number 4,
Building.
building. Okay, remember, current asset can be consumed, sold, okay, within 12 months, okay, 1 year or less. And non-current, more than 12 months.
Okay, so may mga answers na tayo, ma'am.
Okay, number 4, Vince,
Yes.
non-current. Samantha, non-current. Jeline, non-current. Mariali, Joy, non-current. And the answer is
Non-current.
non-current asset. Very good. Okay, number 5, furniture and fixtures.
Ano kayang classification ng asset? Ang furniture and
Okay,
fixtures.
furnitures, examples, tables, chairs.
Fixtures.
Okay, sa offices, no?
Yung fixtures, ma'am, yung mga maintenance ng offices.
Yes.
Ayan. Sige, let's reveal the answer.
Okay, Vince, Samantha, Jeline, Mariali answered non-current.
Okay,
The
let's
answer
see.
is
Non-current.
non-current asset. Very good. Okay, number 6, supplies.
Yes.
Okay, supplies naman. Office supplies.
Okay.
Okay,
Sige
number
po.
6, Jeline answered current. Vince answered current.
And
Samantha, same current. Okay, so let us reveal the answer, ma'am.
current.
It's current
Ayan, very good.
asset.
Ang
Very
gagaling.
good.
Okay. Okay, give yourself a clap or ano po, palakpakan natin ang ating mga sarili dahil mahuhusay ang ating mga tutoring ngayong araw na to. Okay, let's talk about liability, ma'am.
Okay, liability. Ayan na. Credit, oh, may pirmahan na. Okay, may calculator computation na ng interest to. Okay, so liability. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng liability? Okay, so liabilities are debts or financial obligations of an individual or company to other individuals or companies. Its settlement is through payment in the form of cash or any asset other than cash or in the form of rendering services. Examples, accounts payable, unearned income, notes payable, loans payable, and many more. So liabilities, debts, or financial obligation. But when we talk about liability, ang may obligation dito ay ang business. Okay, si business ang may liability. Okay, ang may utang. Kasi pwede rin si customer ang may utang, pero hindi siya liability. Papasok siya sa receivables, okay, which is an asset. Okay? So, ayan. Yan ang liability. And of course, liability is classified also into 2. Okay? Current liabilities and non-current liabilities. Current liabilities consist of short-term debts that require payment in 1 year or less. Example, accounts payable, unearned income, salaries payable, taxes payable, and many more. Okay, accounts payable. Okay, current liabilities, pwede nyo tong bayaran sa loob ng 12 months. Ang payment nito ay 1 year or less. Ang unearned income, although hindi payable yung synonymous, of course, synonymous to accounts payable, unearned income are advance payment of your customers. Okay, parang kinukuha mo na yung bayad nila pero wala ka pang pinagtatrabahuhan. Kaya nagiging liability siya. Okay? Non-current liabilities, these are long-term debts that will be settled or paid beyond 1 year. Malakihang utang ito. Okay, examples are notes payable and loans payable. But of course, notes payable, kailangan may nakalagay dyan, no? Kung in how many months niya yan babayaran. Kapag sa notes payable, nakalagay ay more than 12 months, okay? So classified siya as non-current. Pero meron din kasi mga notes payable na can be paid within 1 year. So current liability siya. So tingnan ninyo maigi. Okay? And of course, loans payable, the same. Ganun din.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay. Add ko lang, ma'am, yung sa notes payable, the person, of course, na may pagkakautang, ibig sabihin ng notes payable, yun po yung promissory note na tinatawag natin. Ayan. Sige po.
May written promise to pay, no?
Yes. Opo, ma'am.
Okay, so let us check your understanding. O, ganun ulit. Classification lang to, current or non-current. But this time, we're referring to liabilities.
Okay. So let's have number 1, accounts
Okay.
payable.
Accounts payable. Okay? Saan ba doon sa example natin, sa lecture natin a while ago, saan ba nakalagay ang accounts payable? So,
Current
classified natin siya.
liabilities or non-current liabilities.
Okay.
May sumagot
Okay,
na, ma'am?
so, yes po, Mariali, Vince, okay, Julie Rose, Isel, Samantha, they all answered current liability.
Yes, very good. Number 2, unearned income. Ito yung sinabi
Unearned
kanina
income.
ni Ma'am
Yes,
ni Tutor Carol. Ano yung unearned income? Is it, how do you classify it? Is it current or non-current?
yan
Okay?
yung mga advance payment, no,
Yes po.
ni client.
Opo.
Okay, so Samantha, Mariali, Vince answered current. Isel also and Jeline answered current. Rani, Balanta, current.
Very good.
Okay.
Number 3,
Okay.
ma'am. Loans
Number 3,
payable.
loans payable. Sa example natin kanina, saan siya nakalagay?
Mm-hmm.
Kasi baka ma-confuse eh. Okay?
Yes,
Sa
ma'am. Kasi
example
may,
natin kanina, saan natin inilagay ang loans payable? Okay? Jeline answered non-current. Mariali, Vin, Samantha answered non-current. And the answer is, of course, non-current asset. Salaries payable. Salary, sweldo to. Okay, sweldo ng mga tao to. Okay? Ano kayang mangyayari, ma'am, no, kung yung salary ay hindi ibigay ng 12 months?
ay malamang war na to. Ganon. Alam na
Tama.
ninyo mangyayari. Galit at kukot na mangyayari.
Okay.
Very
Jeline,
important kasi yan.
yes, Jeline, Mariali, Samantha, Vince, Isel, Rani answered current.
Very
Very
good.
good.
Number 5,
Number 5, notes payable. Again, sa example natin kanina, sa nakalagay ang notes payable.
okay, notes payable.
Okay, so may answer na tayo. Jeline,
Yes.
Vince, Jasmine. Okay, Mariali answered non-current.
Ayan, kala ko hindi. Very good. Now let's have number 6, taxes payable or tax payable.
Taxes naman to, no? Kailangan ibayad sa government.
Yes po.
6, current. Okay, Jeline, current. Mariali, current. Samantha, Gia, Kyla, Vince. They all answered current. Rani answered current. Okay, current.
So let's talk
Okay.
about naman po natin the equity. So I'll be the one to talk about equity. Last week pinag-usapan natin yung equity po, no? Sabi natin that the equity some of the books po ng accounting, they also call it capital, ganyan po. Pero mas prefer ko po na tawagin siyang equity, no? So equity represents the value of asset deducting the total liabilities from the total asset. Ibig sabihin po, ito po yung ine-enjoy ng may-ari ng business kasi po diniduct na po dito lahat po ng ating liabilities. From our asset, we deduct all the liabilities and this will become our equity. So this considered as the residual value o yung natira. Okay, natira. Yun po yung ine-enjoy po natin or the interest of the owner from the business. Siyempre, parang sinabi na natin, isipin na lang natin na ang equity ay considered also as our kita. So, these are contribution of the owners. It can also be known as the contribution kasi medyo sabi ko nga sa may expanded, di ba, account ang equity. So, naapektuhan niya. Una, yung capital. Tapos sumunod po dyan, meron din tayong tinatawag na withdrawal kung saan kumukuha po, nababawasan po ang ating equity kapag tayo kumukuha, nag-withdraw tayo doon. O kaya naman po, naglagay tayo ng capital or naglagay tayo ng investment doon sa ating business. Ano pa? Siyempre po, kasama po dyan ang income at ang ating expenses. So, yan po yun. So, let's talk about, balik lang tayo sandali doon sa ano. Pag sinabi pong capital, yun nga po, it is also equals to equity. Ano ba yung mga nilalagay natin sa capital natin? The owner of the business either, it can put either cash or non-cash asset. O ako kunwari, bumili ako ng sasakyan. Pero it's not going to be a personal, for personal use, but it will be given to or it will be the vehicle of my company or my business. So that is considered as an equity or my investment for the business. Okay, pwede din po bumili tayo ng equipment, pwede din po ng mga furnitures po. As long ito po ay hindi mo ginagamit personally, it will be used, of course, by the business that is considered as an equity or your capital in the business. Now, the income or revenue, ito importante ito dahil sinabi nga natin kanina, the residual value or the business the business that we enjoy, the business enjoy it, okay? So, ang income po ay isang income statement account. Siyempre po, ito po yung actual money earned over a period from jobs, sales of goods or products or services, either in cash or on account. So, ibig sabihin po, ito po yung kinita natin. And it is part of the equity. So, ano po yung mga examples ng revenue or income generated from the sales of commodity, rendering and service? Kapag tayo po ay nag-serve, tapos binigyan po tayo ng bayad, that is considered as an income. Interest received, kunwari po tayo po ay nag-invest ng pera, tapos po meron po yung kinita na interest, that is considered also an income. And then of course, pag tayo po ay nagbebenta ng mga assets po natin, syempre po, as time goes by, some of our assets also depreciated or gusto nating mag-upgrade. So, ang gagawin natin, benta natin yung luma natin. And then, we, of course,
Okay, so parang nagkakaroon ng problema si Tutor Carmi, no, sa internet. So, ang equity lang ay yung residual interest of the owners doon sa assets. So, assets, sabi ko nga sa mga students ko, ang assets ay pinagsama. Ito ay things of value owned and controlled by the business. Pero ito ay nanggaling kung ang ibang things of value ay hindi pa bayad, so part of it ay sa liability pa. Kaya nga ang accounting equation natin ay assets is equal to liabilities plus equity. So lahat ng liability, lahat ng gamit na hindi pa bayad. Okay? Lahat ng gamit na hindi pa bayad. Okay, lahat ng gamit na hindi pa bayad ay kailangang mapunta sa liability at lahat ng matitira after tanggalin ang liability sa asset, ito ang tinatawag na owner's equity. Okay, so parang nagkakaproblema tayo. Okay, wala tayong slides since si Tutor Carmi ang nagpe-present ng ating PPT. But okay, sige, to continue na lang. Okay, so those are revenue. And then, expenses. Okay, so expenses nang i-discuss ko sa inyo. Okay, so ano na lang tayo? Wala tayong PPT. You cannot see anything. Ako lang. Okay, so expenses. So these are costs. Okay, costs incurred, okay, as part of the company's operating activities during specified accounting period which are necessary in the conduct of the business. Okay? So examples nito ay cost of goods sold, commissions earned by the sales employees, rent for the office space, cost of electricity used, advertising, salaries and wages, and of course, depreciation. Okay, interest din. Interest expense din yun eh. Okay, so expenses, under matching principle natin, di ba? Revenue and expenses ay okay, magkasama palagi yan. Okay? Wala daw revenue kung walang expenses. Okay? Walang revenue kung walang expenses. Okay? So, napaka-importante ng expenses. But of course, we have to minimize our expenses para hindi affected ang ating income. Okay? Kaya, sometimes kapag nagkakaproblema, ay, ang liit ng ating income. Okay? The higher ups or the management check their expenses. Yun ang una nilang tinitingnan. Okay, nagka-cut down sila ng expenses para mas malaki ang kanilang income. Okay? Meron kasi tayo ditong check for understanding. Okay, check for understanding. Ang hirap nito, wala tayong PPT. Okay? Okay, wag na yung check of understanding. Normal balance na lang. I will discuss with you the normal balance. So each account will have either a debit or a credit. So when you say debit, this is the left side. Left side. Okay, kapag credit naman, this is the right side. Okay, the right side. Normal balance is the side where one particular account increases. Where one particular account increases. Okay, so no, when you say normal balance, this is the side where one particular account increases. So when you say debit, this is the left side. And when you say credit, this is the right side. Okay, like assets, drawings, and expenses increases on the debit side. Okay, while credit, okay, sa credit side naman sila nagde-decrease. Nagde-decrease. Okay? While liabilities, revenue, and capital, okay, liabilities, revenue, and capital increases on the credit side and decreases on the debit side. Okay, we will study that further sa susunod nating next week. Probably next week we will study about this normal balance. Okay, but please take this down. Once again, assets, drawings, and expenses increases on the debit side and decreases on the credit side. While liabilities, revenue, and capital increases on the credit side and decreases on the debit side. Okay, so yan. And also, okay, part of this session, we will discuss with you the chart of accounts. Chart of accounts. Okay, paano yung chart of accounts? Chart of accounts is a list of the accounts used by an organization. Okay? Chart of accounts, listahan lang ito. Listahan ng mga accounts. Accounts na ginagamit ng isang organization or ng isang business. Okay, by the way, kanina pa tayo accounts ng accounts, no? Ano bang ibig sabihin ng accounts? Accounts are names. Are names we give to transactions. Binibigyan natin ng pangalan yan. Before we can record before we can record the transaction in the book called journal, we have to give them names. Papangalanan natin yan. Okay, so ang tawag dun sa mga pangalan na yon ay accounts. Others use account names. Yung iba, account titles. Pero ang isa lang ang ibig sabihin ng lahat ng yan. Pangalan. Name of the transactions. Okay? It is, the chart of accounts are also used to organize the finances of the entity and to segregate assets, liabilities, equity, revenue, and expenses. Okay, ang arrangement ng accounts sa chart of accounts ay according to ALEREX. Assets, okay, liabilities, equity, revenue, and expenses. Ganyan siya, pababa. Or, kung tayo ay naka-account form, assets, okay, liabilities, and equity. Then, revenues, dito sa kabilang side, revenue, and expenses. Okay, so yan. ALEREX, or isang baba, ALEREX. Okay? So, huwag kayo malito. Ang dami-daming term. Chart of accounts, listahan lang to. List of accounts. Okay, used by the organization. Okay. Also, sa chart of accounts, you can see numbers. Okay, you can see numbers. And we will call this chart of accounts numbering. Merong number. Each account will have its corresponding number. Okay, may number yan. Okay, chart of accounts numbering is a number, okay, number coding assigned to the different general ledger accounts. Okay? So, arrange na ALEREX ALEREX. Alam nyo na kung ano ibig sabihin ng ALEREX. At yan ay may mga numbers. Okay? Kasi ginagamit usually ang numbers sa ledger. Okay? And sometimes, kapag computerized na, pag gagawa ka ng encoding ay computerized. So instead of writing like accounts receivable, you will just encode the numbers para mas mabilis. Okay? Mas mabilis. Pipindot-pindutin mo lang yung numbers and then papasok na yan sa sa accounts receivable. So there are no mandated. Please remember this. There is no mandated approach. No mandated approach. But the common is assets have a prefix 1. Okay? So sa simula ang assets nagsa-start yan sa number 1. Again, no mandated approach. Okay? But the common practice is assets have a prefix 1. Liabilities, 2. Nag-start sa 2. Equity, okay. Equity account starts with 3. And revenue starts with 4. And expenses starts with 5. Okay, 5. Okay, sa PPT kasi, sa PPT, ayan, okay, marami kaming ipapakita dito, okay, na chart of accounts. There, okay. Ito siya. Ay, ganun. Yan. Yan yung mga example. Yan. Okay? Ng chart of accounts. Okay? Arrange sila. Okay, so pag nakakita ka ng account number nag-start sa 1, automatically, ibig sabihin ng asset yon. Pag nag-start sa 3, equity accounts ito. Kapag 5, expense yan. Okay? Kapag 4, revenues yan. Kapag 2, liabilities yan. Okay? So, masasanay rin kayo dito. Okay? So, meron pa sana kami ditong ibibigay na ipapa-assignment sa inyo. Okay? Pero hindi na niyo makikita. Siguro? Okay? Maybe by next week, no? We will be able to see this. Okay? The PPT. Okay? Pasensya na. Ganito po talaga pag live. Okay? So, I think that's about it for today. So if you have no more questions, okay, I think that's about it. So thank you so much for joining us today. And I hope to see you all again next week. Okay, bye po.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag #ETUlayLevelUp. Huwag aalis ha, dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan. Dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!